And so now I'm about to show you some tools. So this right here is one of my markers that I use. I like to take at least a couple with me depending on, what type of training I'm going to do. However, it's really good to mark up your targets as well as, I have the red and I also have black. But it's really good to, be able to highlight to your students, especially for private students. You want to be able to highlight their progress and make sure that they can see where they are, especially for improvement, also for yourself as well. So I like to have a couple of those. Another thing that I like to have here is my spork tool. It's by K-Bar, and I also have one of their knives I use as well. But it's really good to have different tactical tools on you for different purposes. This is one of those tools that is a crossover. I like to have it in my go bag, also have one in my range bag. Different tools that can double as, a useful tool you might need, as well as some tactical training and self-defense should the need present itself. I like to have just different gadgets and things around that, the average person may not recognize can be used to defend myself. Okay, so this is another one of those tools that I like to have, or things I like to have really rather on me for both the range and my go bag, as well as my range bag on the paracord. Also, what I'm showing right here is a notebook. I typically give that out to my students whenever I have classes, both private and group classes, just for them to be able to take any additional notes. Also, of course, it reminds them of the class they took. It has black armed on it, which is my business, and it's just a good takeaway for them and also for instructors. So this right here is a picture of my son and myself. That's something really good to have in your go bag, but I like to also have it in my range bag for an emergency purposes. Let's say something happens to me, and I also have a list of emergency, contact people, whatever that somebody can reach out to in case something does happen. So they'll have a face and a name, as well as some numbers that they can reach out to. I think that's really good for instructors to have, as well as the average person that's getting some training in. You might want to just have some emergency numbers in. People may not be able to get into your phone. They don't know who's who and who to contact on your behalf. And I think it's just a really good thing to have on you whenever you're training with firearms or training in general, just to have on you. So here's some extra items I have: deodorant, and I have some, bug spray that can be really annoying when you have a firearm in your hand and you want to scratch your eye or wave it away. You don't want to do that with a firearm in your hand. And here's just an extra tactical tool. It is double as a pen. It also can open up as a tactical tool to be used, to defend yourself. Sometimes I like to use this as well when writing notes or just in general, marking up targets. I want to make sure that I just want to make sure that I have something extra on me at all times. It's just really good to have a tool near you if you need it. Also, those are contacts. It's a must-have for me. I have it in my go bag as well as my range bag. I'll go over my go bag another day, but I like to have it in both. In my go bag, I like to have my actual physical extra pair of glasses, but on the range, if a contact pops out, I like to have extra contacts on me. Those are just one of those things that you need to think about. Most people may not think about that as an emergency, but I do. Okay, here is a must-have: going to the range, go bag, home, trunk. It's good to have a first aid bag. I also have what I did not show here because I was not going to open it, but I have a tourniquet inside of my first aid bag. I typically carry one in my range bag as well. I also carry one in my trunk. It's good to have extra tourniquets everywhere. When working with firearms, it's best to know how to stop any bleed that you have due to firearm, pack a wound, etc. So I have that training, also offer that training. So yeah, it's just good to have on you. It's a must-have, not good to have. It's a must-have. This is one of those things you need to have with you regardless. Just to reiterate to you guys that it's important to have everything that you need in your range bag. those 100% must have things that, only you would know. You need to have those with you. When you go to the range in your go bag, they just need to be close by whenever, you get ready to deal with firearms or an emergency situation. You need to have those on you. And for me, those are contacts, glasses, everyone has a different thing for them, whether if, someone has asthma, that may be another thing that they need to have on them is their pump. It just depends. Whatever your emergency tool is, have it on you inside of your range bag. Have it on you in your go bag, your first aid bag. You just want to make sure that you are covered in the event of an emergency